Hi everyone. Today we are going to be talking about something a little close to home for most of us. Fast food, as we know, is everywhere. But just how much of it is there? I will now answer this question in regard to our beautiful city, Wilkes-Barre. I was born and raised here in the city, so I have seen the changes that have come to my hometown. As of 2015, my hometown had a median household income of $30,945, which is less than the median annual income in the United States by itself. The poverty rate in Wilkes-Barre is a staggering 28.9%. That number was quite startling. I knew that my city had poverty, but I did not expect it to be this high in percentage. Now, we cannot just look at Wilkes-Barre when dealing with fast food. We need a bigger target area. So I have selected 10 cities and towns that surround us here in the Wyoming Valley. They all lie within a 10-mile radius of Wilkes-Barre. These 10 cities and towns include Edwardsville, Kingston, Hanover Township, Plymouth, Nanticoke, Wyoming, Pittston, West Pittston, Plains, and last but not least, the good old WB. 5 of these towns lie on the west side of the Susquehanna, and 5 lie on the east side, including Wilkes-Barre. The west side is normally associated with the upper class, and the east side with more middle class and lower class. But when all 10 cities are averaged together, these 9 towns, including Wilkes-Barre, have an income of $40,046, an average poverty rate of 19.34%, and an average population of 10,570. You may be wondering what I'm trying to get at here. This is what I did. I went and got out the phone book. Yes, they still make these things, along with online resources, and I did the following. I tried to find every fast food place that lies in this 10-mile radius that I constructed. Now, my definition of fast food is something that is made in an assembly line fashion, kind of like the old Ford plants, and is corporately owned. I did not count any local pizza joints or hot dog places in this, nor did I count Dunkin' Donuts, which some people do consider fast food. Now, these results may shock you, so I hope that you're hanging on to your seats. This 10-mile radius that I have constructed is home to 13 Subways, 10 McDonald's, 8 Burger Kings, 4 Wendy's, 4 Taco Bells, 4 Domino's, 3 Arby's, 3 Kentucky Fried Chickens, 2 Long John Silver's, 2 Little Caesars, 1 Chick-fil-A, and 1 Hardee's. Let this fact sink in. There are 55 fast food locations within a 10-mile radius of my home. Wilkes-Barre alone has 21 of these 55 locations for a population of 41,108. Interestingly enough, McDonald's does have a corporate office just across the Susquehanna in Kingston. Out of Wilkes-Barre's 41,108 permanent residents, there are 13,028 that are either Hispanic, African American, or of mixed race. Caucasians are the most impoverished race in the city, being that they are the majority. In the Wyoming Valley, in which we live, there are roughly 11,500 children living in poverty. Nationally, there are 16 million children that live in poverty. A struggling parent is more likely to walk into a fast food establishment and buy their child a hot meal than they are to go home and cook a hot meal for their family. Studies now show that fast food locates itself within impoverished areas at a greater number than areas that are more stable financially. One of those studies also found that areas that are predominantly African American have higher concentrations of fast food locations. Wilkes-Barre, by far, has the greatest minority population within this 10-mile radius that I have constructed. Now, I'd like to give you guys a couple of visuals that go along with my theory. What you are looking at right now is an aerial view of the Heights section of Wilkes-Barre. This area has been predominantly African American and Hispanic for many years now. Right here, where it says GAR Memorial Junior Senior High School, is where I went to school. If you just go up Sherman Street and then down East Northampton, you run right into a McDonald's. This McDonald's is just a few blocks away from a learning establishment. If you just go a little farther down the road too, a Domino's is situated right here in this small shopping center. If you go another block over, the Catholic high school in the area, Holy Redeemer, is situated right here. McDonald's and Domino's is even closer to Holy Redeemer than it was to my high school, GAR. Across the street from McDonald's, in this section right here, is Okarma Terrace, or as we call it in the city, OKT. Housing development is associated with the lower income people of our city. McDonald's has situated itself perfectly across the street from this housing development. This McDonald's is even close to Wilkes University. If you just go 4 blocks towards the river from that McDonald's, you run smack into Wilkes. The area that you are seeing now is probably our lowest income area in the city. It's a housing development that goes by the name of Sherman Hills. Just down the street from Sherman Hills is located a Subway in this building right here, and just over here is a Popeyes, which is just like KFC, but a little spicier. So far, I have showed you 2 of the lowest income areas in the city, and they just happen to be surrounded by fast food locations. To the one of the other 3 high schools in the area, Myers. Located right across the street from it is one of the elementary schools in our area, Kistler. If you go down the street here, which is Old River Road, and just about 8 blocks down, you run into a KFC, there's a McDonald's, and also a Burger King. Now you have seen 2 of our 3 city high schools that have fast food locations within walking distance of their doors. The 3rd high school, Coughlin, is in the oldest section of the city, so fast food does not surround it or is within walking distance, since that part of the city could not be developed like these others. Now, in relation to where I live right here on Blackman Street. If we follow Blackman Street up to the top, which is Route 309, we run into a Taco Bell, and we also run into a McDonald's. I have many experiences after long days sitting in a classroom all day in high school that I would leave after the day with my friends and we would take a walk to this McDonald's. This is the McDonald's that is located by my house. Notice that it's more of an older concept McDonald's that looks like it's about from the 90s, but it has those famous golden arches that you can see from Interstate 81, which is right there. It also has a playpen. A playpen is a great tool that McDonald's has developed that gets children to want to go to McDonald's, not just for the food, but also to play. Now that I have given you those visuals provided by Google Maps, I hope that you now understand what I mean when I say that fast food targets the lower income areas of our city. Think about it. I only showed you maybe 5 or 6 of the fast food locations that are in our city. Wilkes-Barre isn't as big as you would think, and there are 21 fast food locations that are in our city's borders. They are all scattered throughout the city, near the highway, and also in the heart of town. By displaying that these fast food locations have situated themselves in the lower income sections of our city and also the more African American or Hispanic sections of our city backs up the fact that fast food locates itself within financially unstable neighborhoods. Their hope is that when a single mother is coming home from her second job and she has to provide dinner for her children, that she's going to stop and good old Ronald McDonald is going to be there to give her a hot meal. It seems like fast food corporations are exploiting minorities and the people of lower income status in our country. Just like many other towns and cities across the United States, the 21 locations of fast food within our city limits goes to show that Wilkes-Barre is targeted by fast food based partly on poverty and race.